Okay, we are back. So we're going to be looking at, very briefly, like I said, Batman number 9. And then, of course, Barbara Gordon Breakout. So, Batman number 9, the publisher synopsis is as follows. After making a sinister deal with Mayor Isley, which frankly, I would be glad to work on her committee because she is my favorite Batman villain. Commissioner Vandal Savage initiates Operation Peregrine, sending his brutal two ghost squads across Gotham City on a singular mission. Are they ice? Who knows? Bring in the Batman. Batman and his team must destroy and abandon their hideouts, safeguard their data, and escape the long arm of the law, but not everyone will make it safely through the night. The writer is Matt Fraction, and the artist is Jorge Jimenez, and colors Tomu Mori.
It does say that, but on the actual issue, it says Ryan Sook,
Oh
artist.
dear, oh dear. Lies and betrayal.
I'm
Okay.
pretty,
I mean, you might be right. Was that the very end? Oh, there it is.
see,
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. That was the DC fandom, the DC Wikia. Okay, so writer Matt Fraction, artist Ryan Sook, and inks Wade Von Grawbadger, and colors Tomu Mori. Okay.
Clayton
Really,
Furrow's letters.
there you go. Oh, with Ryan Sook, yeah. So I will say, if we go to the end, so she's leading Babs. Babs is as she does as Oracle. She very much is Oracle in this particular role, helping everyone navigate where they need to go, leading the operations there. And then as we get to the end, it looks like Steph fell into a trap. Sorry, I'm scrolling very quickly.
Okay.
And I did get a bit confused because I thought that the people going up, oh, there we go, going up the stairs were going to
Hmm.
get Steph right here, but
Oh,
actually they're coming to get Oracle, and then of course we get this. Move your head. I think it's time. So there was some sort of pre-discussion about what was going to happen, and then she has a nice little, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve with you. I hope to see you all again. Until then, stay safe, stay smart. And I think everyone rightly is a bit upset. I will say that Barbara really has been wearing the same clothing for the past 5 years, since the previous volume of Batman started and all of this. So I guess this is her get up to be Oracle, but it's just like, why every time? And that she is wearing that when she is arrested. And also, in a similar vein to, do you watch Daredevil?
yeah, I have a note here about this is basically Daredevil Born Again season two.
Yeah, it reminded me. Who were those? What were their things? They were also ice, but what was their name? Oh, it's the Safe
Anti
Streets. Oh,
anti-vigilante
anti-vigilante. Yeah.
task force.
Yeah, because I thought they were going to take her in, but then I was pretty shocked at this actually, that she is pretty beat up. So I don't know. I could imagine because she put her hands up that she was not fighting back.
Yeah, I
Um,
assume she was not fighting
yeah,
back.
and they just decide to take it out on her because that's their shtick.
And the framing too, the media saying she's
Yeah,
the first known associate of the outlawed criminal vigilante Batman.
right.
Like that's also, and I mean, this isn't, it's not as fair to compare them. But look, that's the situation. Daredevil Born Again season two just
Yeah,
aired. Now here's this comic. It's very similar.
yeah.
Sorry.
Where
Matt
Karen
Fraction prob
Page.
Matt
Yeah,
Fraction probably wrote this months ago, but
yeah,
this is the situation.
yeah. Karen Page getting arrested and everything.
Yep.
Is it clear to you from this issue what the plan was? And yeah, I'll just stay there. What the plan was, why she gave up.
The plan is to lose on purpose, right? That's what they say in the beginning.
Let's go home. Boop.
Okay.
Time to change.
Uh,
Yeah, we're going to lose.
okay, but wait, if you can just go back up to, I think it's important that, and this is the difference between a Matt Fraction and a someone else, that Batman is not saying, okay, listen, everybody, here's what we're doing, and just do what I say, but that
Hmm.
he's saying, Barbara and I have been talking,
Yeah,
and now this is the plan,
that is a big deal.
right?
Hmm.
And that I think is important to people like us.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so tonight we're going to lose. But you're right. That's really all we know. We
Hmm.
know that they're going to lose, and we see them destroying stuff and her getting arrested.
Yeah. I wonder if that was a plan or the plan because I initially, because sure, but does that mean anyone could have been captured or was it all, did she know that they were going to come to
I think
her
we know,
specifically?
I think we know that they were coming to her
Okay.
specifically
Yeah, I think it's time.
because
Dot, dot, dot. Yeah,
she, um, uh, her see you on the other, is that her saying see you on the other side?
should be.
And she's ready in the clock, in the, like she stands up in the
Yep.
clock tower, like, okay, this is it.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess I assumed that this was the plan because she's got both the brains and the brawn to do what's coming.
Yeah. Yep.
And Bruce trusts her to do it, I guess. Or they decided for whatever the specifics of the plan are, they decided that she had to do it because there's some information that only she can get in that place, which I have issues with, but we can talk about that when we get to the next one. Before we go
Yeah.
on, can we just point out Bruce being a decent person in this comic, since both you and I have been known to harp
Yeah.
in the past?
It is true.
I would like to just note about Alfred kind of lecturing him
Hmm. From
and
the dead.
him saying that parenting is hard, and then this page that you have up here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm not the father you deserve yet, but I'm trying to learn.
Yeah.
It's you and me, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
I mean, this is the Bat family Bruce Wayne that I like to see.
Yeah,
And it doesn't
absolutely.
have to be every single issue, but he doesn't need to be hard, cold, alone, hypermasculine jerk Batman.
Yeah, agreed.
He can be this Batman and still be good at what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. And to stop and get rid of that one. And then the main event,
Okay, here
as it
goes.
were. Doo-doo-doo.
So I really did like Batman number 9.
That's
Even
great.
though I didn't really need to read it, I realized once I read Breakout.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I did because I liked it way more than Breakout.
So this is Barbara Gordon Breakout. I like how it says volume one, number one. Hopefully there's not a volume two. So just number one, and writer Mariko Tamaki, who I do like, or
Me
yeah,
too.
penciler and inker. I should have looked this up. Amanke Noel Pon. I'm so sorry. I should have done a pronunciation on that. And then colorist Tamara Bonvillain. Framed, outlawed, hunted. This is the this is the publisher synopsis. The extra legal activities of Gotham's vigilantes have never been so more dangerous. After Barbara Gordon is arrested for aiding the Bat family, she is shipped off to Supermax. GCPD Commissioner Vandal Savage's pet project prison. Look at that alliteration. For all who oppose him. She will find herself alone, surrounded by dangerous criminals and equally dangerous guards, in a place where nothing is what it seems. Dun dun dun. Okay. Okay. So I do have some questions. My first question, though, is how clear was Barbara's and or Batman's plan, and when did it become clear to you within this issue?
No and no.
Did it never? Well, we find out. I would say, well, it was at the very end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now
But
I
I mean,
gotta.
I guess I'm just saying this like look, before this came out, I was skeptical just by the title
Yeah.
and the premise. Like, why does Barbara need to be in prison? And the idea that the number one tech savvy person in Gotham needs to be there in person instead of hacking every security camera that's there makes no sense to me. Unless there are no security cameras. I mean, and that could be a point that is going to be made here, that this is this supermax place with no accountability and there are no cameras and there's no way of seeing what's going on inside. But I don't feel like they've told us that.
Hmm. It's Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, I guess. Um, but if for those of you who haven't read Batman #9, you don't really need to because the first few pages here catch you up on what is supposed to be. Um, I don't know. Do you feel pretty clear on the plan?
Well, I think, what page am I on here? I am unsure. It's pretty near to the, I did not know what the plan was until here. So I am at, what my idea is of the plan is that she purposely got arrested because there are innocent people in this supermax prison that are getting killed off. And
Mhm.
so she is there to protect people that she knows. So I guess she had to also do some studying as to, well, the perps who are in there. And because we have Two Face's quote unquote daughter die at DIE, and also the people who have been illegally seized.
Mhm. I mean, one kind of assumes that I shouldn't maybe assume this. I guess I also kind of assuming that there's some information gathering that's supposed to be happening as well.
Yeah.
Because if all she is muscle protecting people, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Like that she says, that's our thing to help people who have no one else,
Yeah.
right? Okay, that's good in and of itself. But if that's all it is, then it doesn't really have to be Barbara Gordon,
Right.
right? Because
Yeah, I would agree.
the main thing about her is her information. I shouldn't say main thing. One of the main things about her is her information gathering skills and her
Sure.
tech skills. So if those don't get used at all, I think that would be kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
If all the focus is just on her physicality, I mean, great. It's a reminder that that's what she is capable of doing, but I'm not sure it's showing her how well-rounded she is as a character.
Yeah. Yeah, and in the past, some writers have been able to, use boxes and things like that to zoom in on things. And so, and we're not doing that here, like
Hmm.
as if she were sort of processing what information she had gotten,
Hmm.
which would have been cool of, seeing die, oh, dot, 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 seeing these different things as if she's recalling from her
Hmm.
studying of the people in there. So that would be the only thing that I would see of her intellect being used, is that she has to make count as to who is in there she needs to protect. Also, she said she needs, I can't remember now why, but she needs to go over to the male side of the Supermax. Maybe for the same reason. But I remember she said there's a, I mean, maybe that'll be something. Oh, it's right here. Oh, Rascot. Oh, yeah, because somebody was killed. So she has to, well, she's got to investigate these murders as well, as protecting people. She's got a lot going on. I
Yeah,
don't,
so
yeah,
that was the question I had. I thought there was a mention of information. So like if she's investigating, why can't she investigate technologically?
on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we're in a comic book, but I don't know how long realistically someone could survive in this situation, because she is not necessarily antagonizing, but she had, like, intentionally, but she has antagonized people. She's already gotten into at least two fights. And so
Hmm.
she has, Batman says you're going to have a target on your back. She does, because she was defending somebody, and then people have been finding out that she is Jim Gordon's daughter. So I don't know how you can live your life like this if, like, everyone is going to end up trying to kill you potentially, or at least a large population within the Supermax.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
And it's not
And I just
sustainable.
want to,
Yeah.
no, I agree. And I just want to note that the artist does a really good job differentiating these women
Oh,
from one
yeah.
another,
Yep.
even though they're all wearing the same thing. So like, that's great. And the colors as well, in terms of people's faces and stuff like that. But having said that, A, what you're saying, like, it's not sustainable for this to be your life, but B, if every issue is going to be people getting beat up, it's kind of just like not for me. I mean, I think I've been on record numerous times saying I don't really love violent content that much.
Hmm.
Not all superhero content has to be realistically violent content.
Yeah.
I get it that it's making a point here, and I think it makes a point in a lot of really good stories and is gratuitous in others, but it's not really for me to read a women in prison book where Barbara is beating people up every week and getting beaten up every week.
Yeah. And to, oh, well, that was a nice part of like, oh, look, the birds of prey. May they rest in peace. Um,
Birds.
it is also not sustainable to protect however many people she needs to protect. Like, there's just no way she can keep all those people alive.
No. I mean, Mariko Tamaki is a great writer,
Yeah, I agree.
and I think that this art is really good. I'm not familiar with the artist, but I think that it's really nicely laid out and evocative. Um, but I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how this is gonna go.
I'm not sure either. I was thinking about that show that people really liked, Prison Break, and I
Or
think
Orange
they
is
have,
the New Black.
oh, yeah. Well, Prison Break is because I was thinking about them getting out. Like the whole point is to get out, but I can't tell.
Well,
Her
yeah,
point is to like stay back in. Well, I guess didn't one of the brothers like get in order to get the other guy out? Yes. Well, with Orange is the New Black, I think that certainly we have that here because of the guards that are not really on the side of the correctional officers, I guess I should say, are not, maybe I shouldn't, because that they're not even that position. The guards, because they are corrupt, it seems, are not there to protect the prisoners necessarily. And then who even knows what sort of stuff is going to go on in here. I don't know if I also am, I've had discussions now with a couple people about the prison system. And so
Mhm.
I feel like if this were a Stella of maybe 5 years ago, I maybe would be able to look past it. But now it's just like hard to read a comic about a glaring injustice that we have in our country, and I've got to like read this, and while in real life lots of really terrible stuff goes on. I know that's not true for everything, but just yeah. So now I feel like that's going to be harder as like a realistic level, which is why I jokingly said at the top of the show 7 hours ago that, what is your thought on the criminal justice system in America? So I'll try to separate it, but it's just like it's there also of like, well, the guards aren't paying them attention, what's going to happen. um this is a question I have here. My interpretation might be different from your interpretation, but Di is here, and let's see, dot dot dot. Is that who your daddy is? And Bab says daddy, question mark. And Di says not you not clear on what a daddy is? And Bab says it's not the word I would use. And then Di says, do you think this is funny? And then as an internal monologue, Bab says, no, I don't. Dad issues. My interpretation of that is Barbara herself is saying that she has dad issues, which is why she does not find this whole discussion funny. I'm confused because I would not say that Barbara Gordon has dad issues. So, what was your interpretation? And am I wrong that Gordon does have father issues?
I was trying, I did take it the way you just said
Okay.
at first. And then I thought she kind of goes a ways here to repeat daddy, and then that's not the word I would use. I would say, dad issues.
Oh, okay. So that you think is
So
what she's doing?
I didn't know if like it was supposed to be funny, like not daddy in what some people use in a romantic kind of way.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, either way, I did not enjoy this exchange.
Yeah.
Whether she's saying she has issues with Jim Gordon, I don't, I prefer when they are very, very tight,
Yeah.
not when they don't get along. And if it was just meant to be funny, like she's making fun of this person for saying daddy instead of dad, I
Yeah.
just,
Also, when I think of dad issues, I always think of it as like long-standing issues, whereas while she and Jim have had strain, it's not been a consistent thing that always goes back to this one thing. So that's why I sort of disagree psychologically, I guess.
I thought also the framing of this, now that we're here, I mean, I did say before, I thought that the that color was used really well to differentiate people, but I thought that the person here to the left looks so much darker than everybody else, that the way that that all the other women are colored here just looks makes it look like they're all white, and then there's this one really dark face. I thought people seemed a little more diverse before that, but
Well, as you were talking before, I was looking at everyone and I thought, wow, there sure are a lot of white people in the yard. Is it here? Oh, oh,
um
oh, look at all these white people.
well, I think that I think that the woman on, I think that a couple of them are supposed to be a little darker, but in a more, I mean, don't you think like the first and second and third people on the left are darker? Not there, though,
Yes.
the
Oh,
small
well, I
one.
would say, yeah, the second person from the left and then cut off on the far right. Yeah, absolutely. And maybe in the back. Yeah. But I think the percentage is higher for white people. I think this could go either way, though. So you could be like, well, this is a problem because it's not as I've like, where's the equality there? But
Yeah,
maybe they're looking at it from a different lens of like, well, let's not make it stereotypically that a bunch of people of color have been
yeah,
arrested.
yeah.
So they could be trying to do that sort of
Yeah,
positive
so,
work.
so I felt like there was diversity among people. I just thought the framing of that one panel was
Yeah.
striking.
Yep. With the focus there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then my other big issue, which I guess I'll just maybe that's a good one, is her mobility, which has been on and off and has been a gripe of mine because it has been hella inconsistent.
Yeah, I don't even know where we are now. So,
Yeah, because that is another issue. I feel like if we were where we should be, that she wouldn't be able to do this nonstop. That's why I say it's not
mhm.
sustainable. But I think that unfortunately, we are currently in an era where she has no mobility issues, which is very unfortunate for members of that community that always have always looked to her as a representative of them, and so to now not have that, I think is really frustrating.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I just need someone to be on top of this. I think it's the editor's job. Like, you need to be like, this is her status quo. She has some bad days, because I think that that was fine. I guess that was Batgirls was when she had bad days. And so I thought, well,
Okay,
that's good, because I think that, if she has gotten her mobility back, then I think there would be some times that, because I think of, people with a prosthesis, there are some bad days that they have, and so I
sure.
think that that would be great to show, but this is just like, okay, well, I guess it's never happened. So um yeah, I guess we end on, I was trying to figure out if I could know who this was. Wouldn't that be great? There's ticking, there's screeing, there's shooting. I'm not sure who it is,
I'm not
especially,
either.
and she doesn't like it. So
Yeah. So is the no because she does know the person or just because she's been snuck up upon? I'm not sure.
I think that it's probably someone she does not want to be in there. Who do you think would make these noises? A tick tick tick.
I don't know. I mean, one, I guess I kind of figured it would be maybe it was related to die since that
Whoa.
person got called out.
Yeah. The
But I
ventriloquist from New
also
52.
I also wasn't sure if these three have different
Oh,
fonts because it's three different people and she's just
could
hearing
be.
what's going on the hallway.
Yeah.
And then there's a fourth person that says shh because it's four
Yeah.
different fonts.
Could be. So it's a group that's about to get her.
It could be.
Yeah. And look at that top. It says, holy bleep. It's only been one day. I know. What do you think was going to happen? So, would you recommend this to a Barbara Gordon fan?
Not yet.
Okay. But you yourself are not going to continue with it, correct?
No.
Okay.
Um,
But you'll listen as I continue with it and then decide if you need to come back.
yes.
Okay.
I also, when I can, I do prefer to make myself wait so I can read a few things in a row.
Yeah.
And part of it is just because I read quickly, I read prose quickly.
Hmm.
You kind of have to when you're in graduate school, so that
Yeah.
doesn't go away after you finish graduate school. But it's unfortunate really that that transfers to comics because then I have to make myself like stop and go back and appreciate the interplay of the art and the words more. But because I tend to look at them really quickly, I feel like it's only been a few minutes and now I'm done for a month.
Yeah.
So I just feel more I would rather sit down and be able to read a chunk
I
if I
understand.
can. And
Yeah.
maybe my memory isn't as good to carry things month to month anymore anyway.
Sure.
But no,
Yeah.
this is not, it feels like it's not really for me.
Yeah.
So I don't feel compelled to go on. I would definitely read the whole thing at some point unless you tell me I don't need to, which is a possibility.
Yeah, well, I like to try to save people as much pain as possible. I will say that this is going to feel like, I mean, I already said that I have issues with long runtime movies, that this for me could just be a limited 6 issue miniseries. And if this is an ongoing, I just don't know. I just
How
don't
could
know.
it be? How
Well,
could
that's
it?
with like the prison break. I was like, did they ever get out of that show? You know, did they ever break out?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Because that went on for how many seasons? So,
Okay. Yeah. All right. You make
but
a good point.
but it's just going to be the same thing over and over. She's investigating, she's protecting people, she's beating people up.
Uh-huh.
So
That,
I don't know.
yeah, that's
Inside it's unsustainable, outside it's unsustainable.
so do you feel like you are recommending it to people?
From this first issue, I would not. Though I do try to give benefit of the doubt because I try to, just like in TV shows, I try to watch 2 episodes and see like, okay,
Hmm.
can I do this? Because I think it's unfair to say, just like
It's hard.
after a first chapter in a book, it's unfair to say, no,
Yeah,
don't do it.
I
So
agree.
I think TBD,
Hmm.
but I am just I'm upset with the mobility business and that I don't really like have that I'm going to have to read prison stuff, frankly. So, but that's a personal issue. So I can't, other people I think are going to be able to be okay with it.
Right. And I have the same sort of political issues that you do. And also again, am on record as not really enjoying violence very much. And I
Violence. Yeah.
have to assume that this is how this is going
Yeah.
to go.
Just get beat up all the time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, out of 10, let's see. What should we do? What should we do? I don't know. Prison potties. What would you give this?
Just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's not for someone else.
Yeah. So you're
I
not
don't
going to
know.
rate it. You
And
don't
we
have
also
to.
don't know. I mean, in turn, like was Tamaki told like, and you have
Yeah.
to spend this many pages catching people up, which then kind of
Yeah.
interrupts, which takes away pages that she could have done more about what's going on here. I don't know. It's just what would you give it? I don't know. I don't want to be mean
Yeah, I
since
mean,
it's
I'd
not.
probably give it a 7.
Okay. It's
That's
not
generous, and
it's
that's
not poorly
yeah.
written. It's not
No,
poorly drawn. It's just not compelling to me.
yeah,
And the things that push me away are happening.
yeah, yeah. So 7 out of 10 prison potties. At least we know why she's there. Just took a little while, but yeah, it just needs to prove that. Yeah, why is she? Why does she need to be there? I think is the big thing. So
Hmm.
okay,
Because I need a reason for her not to be able to do this through technology.
yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, we'll move on to the as we speed to the end. Stella's Dungeon of Smut. Have you read any romance novels recently?
I have not.
That's quite
I'm
all right.
happy for you to tell me about some.
Match Penalty by Tegan Hunter. I thought was okay. I've
Mhm.
also read, I haven't logged it because I sped read it, so I felt like it didn't count as, actually sitting down and reading it.
Mhm.
The Chelsea Curto's DC Stars, I think I've read 4 of them. I did enjoy those, so I would recommend
Oh,
those. So I think that's all I'll say about Stella's Dungeon of Smut. I've been revisiting other ones, and I'm not sure if anything's coming out. So that's good. It's slowing down. See, I can stop. But we'll move on to literature
but you have
recommendation.
the sign.
I know the smut sign. You got it. And yeah, I know. Yeah, I had to get a new shelf too because I was like, oh my gosh, they're spilling over. So now I have The Kiss of the Basilisk duology, and then on top, Museum Bums. Yep, Museum Bums, which Donovan Morgan Grant got me. And then below it, some hockey romances with a little thing that says hockey romance, I think lifetime pass, like a little ticket. And then my playbill binders below that. And then a ship up at the top of Cora and Asami. So, it
Yeah. Well,
spills
look,
over.
a couple of my talking comics buds are pretty obsessed with the Puck Boys series
Oh,
and the along with the regular Heated Rivalry
yeah.
series. I guess
Yeah,
Puck Boys was the other one that she wrote.
Yeah, I will say, speaking of that Off Campus dropped on Amazon on May 22nd. Wait, it is May 22nd. It was May 13th, I think it was. Now, this is based off of
Hmm.
L. Kennedy's first book, The Deal.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
very, very excited for it. Rewatched the trailer multiple times. Now, I had a plan that I was going to, because that day, my schedule, I had 3 free blocks at the beginning of the day. And so I had been telling Harry, I'm going to call in half day sick so that I can watch as many episodes as possible. And he didn't like it because he thought that I lost some integrity there because it was like partially, a lie. But I thought, well, it's my sick day. Can't I, and I've been exhausted. So it's like mental health. But then, so that was my plan. Then I had a leak under the bathroom sink that caused much water to flow out. So I actually did take that half day off in order to deal with that situation.
What a pain. How long, how much damage?
Not too bad, because of course, it was in the bathroom, so it's just like toiletries and stuff. Things were wet, but I had to pull it out, and then was bucket and all of that. So it was good I stayed home because I had to replace the bucket because the water would fluctuate depending on if my upstairs neighbor used it. And then I put in my maintenance report. I heard this at 2:20 in the morning, which is bad because it's like lowercase t trauma from my previous apartment when I had stuff. Because so now I'm just attuned to noises that do not belong. So I was hearing
Yeah.
something. So then I was up. I stayed up that was a very long day, I will say, because put in the maintenance, was waiting, flipping out water, ended up going to the gym. I was like, mine as well. Came back, watched, I think, 5.5 episodes of Off Campus, and was like, well, I have to go now because of advisory. And so if there's a flood that happens, it just happens, and hope for the best. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Did get an email we had after school meeting. So I was there until 5:15 anyways. And then I was going to go to the dress rehearsal of the play, which I thought was going to start at 6, but it didn't start until 7:15. But I did get an email that maintenance I was like, great. And then I couldn't even go home because there was a massive two-alarm fire in the apartment complex and everything was shut down. So I waited until act one and I was just like, I'm really tired. I need to go. And then I had to go all the way around. I had to like figure out how to get back in because they closed off part of the road. And then there was a huge downpour. It was like the type where you couldn't see. So it was all this stuff. But I only had a couple episodes left. So I ended up staying up until 11. So I was up for 22 hours maybe straight, but it was worth it. It was worth it. I love that show. I was grinning ear to ear the entire time. I thought they did a great job. I thought the changes that they made were great because it made parts in the book that didn't make sense make better sense. Dean and Allie were amazing. J Lo is on number one for a song from 15 years ago. She's like made it back on number one for that. But that there you go. Stella's Dungeon of Smut. So now literature recommendations. Have you been reading? And if so, what? And it's of course Hera because I recommended that years ago, huh?
Yeah, which I still haven't read. There, if you look at I'm quickly looking at my library history. Um, the yeah, during the school year, it's
Can't do it.
hard for me
Yeah.
to read things that are not school related. And
Mm-hmm.
very often I take things out and then they get returned automatically. It's not great, I know. Um, the things that I've read most recently are it's Eisner time
Mm.
and I can vote. So
Whoa.
I try to read Eisner nominees, so I cast an informed vote. So most recently I read uh sorry, words, biography of Fela Kuti that is a graphic novel. It's like 400 pages long and it's excellent and it's beautiful. The art is absolutely stunning. And I would recommend that. And I also read The Cartoonists Club by Raina Telgemeier and Scott
Mm.
McCloud, which, I mean, everything Raina Telgemeier writes is great. And this is kind of a merging of her books for middle grade kids with Scott McCloud's Understanding Comics because it's about these middle school kids that like form a cartoonist club and they have to sort of learn how to do it. And they really encourage each other and they're very diverse ideas, but they also talk about techniques for representing different kinds of things. And that's where McCloud's more educational stuff from his seminal work, Understanding Comics, comes from, and he draws those parts in the book. So it's like it's a fun fiction book to read, but you're also learning a lot about comics at the same time. And I would really recommend that. Otherwise, I think what I've read most recently is all nonfiction stuff. Oh, wait, I thought of something. I read a book trilogy that is a Star Trek trilogy that's got characters from Star Trek The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and Voyager, and it's by David Mack. David Mack, the novelist, not David Mack, the artist. I thought they were the same person for a while, but they're not. And the whole trilogy is called Star Trek Destiny. And so I would recommend those three books because it's really good on all those characters and integrating them, but it's also like a compelling plot in and of itself. So I would recommend that. I'm now quickly again looking through my library thing. Can I say anything else novel-wise? A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. That was good. Did you read that?
No.
Okay. A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. Um, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I guess I read that a while
I
ago.
just finished that.
You did? I read
Yeah.
it. Apparently, I read it in December. How did you feel about it?
I really liked it, but
Me too.
because I really liked the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I was emotionally
Yes.
affected by that, by the ending, and was kind of in some despair afterwards. I was nervous.
I'm pretty sure I recommended Evelyn
You
Hugo
might
to you
have. You might have.
ages
Thanks
ago.
for
Yeah.
holding that over me. I was nervous about this because I thought, oh my gosh, if she does not come back. So I had to read the last page at a certain point
I
because
did too.
I was getting upset. So
I
I was
did
like,
too.
oh, okay, okay. And then watch it. But there it was just so good. I loved the shipping. And then there were just some great conversations between the two of them that reached yeah, just emotional depths that you wouldn't expect. And yeah, it was very beautiful. And then having the astronomy as well, I thought was amazing. And then pushing women forward in science and NASA, I thought was well
Yep.
done too. So I
Yeah,
recommend
and
it.
listeners, the only reason I'm mentioning that I do think I recommended it is because, as you are very well aware, Stella is an unbelievably impressive reader who is reading novels all the time.
Yeah,
I used to be like that. I
you
somehow
got a
am not
life.
so great about it anymore. And so that's why I kind of remember this.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I always listen to her literature recommendations and I make notes in the notes app of my
Oh,
phone when she mentions something that
that's really
is
good.
interesting.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be able to make a recommendation of something she hasn't
And
already
that's,
gotten to way before
yes.
me.
And that stuck with me. I actually mentioned it. I made a reference to it yesterday. That one closet scene. Oh, well, when Celia and Evelyn first have like a physical interaction, but they were in the laundry room. She was talking with someone before, and then that was when Evelyn was like made aware of Celia. And then that woman leaves, and then she's kind of just shocked and is standing in there. And then Celia comes in, and she said that the woman said you were in the laundry. I wasn't sure if that was a euphemism or not, because someone had emailed the school and said like he was on jury duty, but like in the courtyard. So it was something weird, and I was like, is that a euphemism? So it just reminded me of that whole thing. But that was a very hard novel at times. So I was just so worried about atmosphere not ending up well. But yeah, so thank you very much because that's definitely up there as like maybe I don't know, top 10. I love, yeah, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I can tell you who recommended it to me, and that was
Oh,
my now stepdaughter-in-law,
oh,
Chelsea.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was so good. Yeah. Well, if you're, are you finished?
books wise,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I read Son of Nobody by Yan Martel, who is the writer of Life of Pi. My mom
Hmm.
got that to me. It came in an Amazon. I was like, what is this book? And then my mom texted and said, did you get a package? I was like, yes. So she heard an interview with the author on NPR. And so it's about this classicist who goes over to, I'm pretty sure it's Cambridge, to look
Hmm.
at artifacts and different pieces. And he starts to unravel this mystery of this son of nobody who was like at the Trojan War and like, who is this person? And so he develops um, his own commentary and translates about it. So, of course, because she knew that I was doing the Iliad and all of that.
Hmm.
And there's made mention of different, like there's Cetes and Odysseus pop up and Agamemnon and all of those people. So it's formatted interesting. It's just like you would expect from a commentary that you would read, where the top
Hmm.
half of it is what he translates. And then the bottom half is notes on it. So he'll make note of things that's obviously going on and will clue you in. So it's almost as if you're reading a commentary, but he's cluing us into his life. So there's a lot of stuff going on, especially his own relationship to his daughter named Helen. He did that on purpose. And so there's some sad things that kind of go on. So there's like all this connection between what the son of nobody is going through and what the commentator, the author is going through. So it's really very interesting. I also read
Hmm.
What We Can Know by Ian McEwan, which, in a similar vein, is all about perspectives and looking back. So it's like 2026 or something like that. I got two professors. You'd appreciate this book, actually, with some of the stuff that's going on, especially with locks and limits on AI. It shuts AI down if it can tell that the students are writing a paper, which is really interesting. But also, they use it a lot for emotional management. Like they treat it like a friend, and it logs all these things. So a question is like, well, if you start dating or marry someone, should that person get the log of all the things that your partner has? But
Hmm.
it's about this professor and this other professor who are professors of literature that would have happened in the early 20th century, like 2000s on. And so for the students, it's like history poetry or history prose and things like that. And the main character is investigating this dinner party and this poem that came out, but no one can find this poem. And so he has his own idea. You like learn about the people in there through him, and he has, transcripts, cell phones, emails, all that stuff. And then there's a stop because they thought that they had found it. And well, I won't say. And then there's a stop, and then you go back in time and you follow the woman who is the wife of the person who wrote the poem, but it was for her. And you see all this. So then you start to see where the professor was right and wrong about his, like looking at all this evidence, and was his perspective correct, or all of that stuff. So it's really quite interesting about looking back and whether we had the correct context or not, and all of that stuff, especially as a biographer. So it all comes as a biography. Like as a biographer, you can only write about what we can know, and some things we just don't. So I recommend that. Atmosphere, as you say. And then I did John Proctor is the Villain by Kimberly Bellflower for the next required reading with Tom and Stella. That was my choice. So there we go. Is there anywhere that people can find you, support you? Can they read your
If
paper? Is that published yet? Will it be
uh,
published?
I don't think
Okay.
so. I mean, sometimes conferences put abstracts online or do proceedings or something like that. The conference does have a website. It's Mechademia something, Mechademia. I assume it was Mecca and academia.
Yeah.
Somebody put them together. And there is a journal that they put out as well. So I think you can access some stuff from there. I
Okay.
don't know if I mean, I may take these things from the last couple of years and make them articles or make them a book. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet.
Okay.
Right now, I'm just kind of like, entering a new area, not totally new, but doing something different from what I was doing, and
Yeah.
and meeting a lot of new people and making connections and getting feedback, and so it's been really cool.
Yeah.
And I do have a lot of books lined up to
Oh,
for the flight each way,
oh,
because
good.
there and back is 40 hours.
Yeah.
So I have a
Hera?
lot of all
Hera by
right.
Jennifer Saint?
Oh my God. All right. Making a note, making a
Come
note.
on.
If you were trying to tell me to read only one thing, that would be the thing.
Yeah, because I think I went out of my way to be like, you should really read this.
You totally did.
And I gave it 5 stars, which I do not often do.
Okay. The last time, okay, so I can tell you, looking down at
The
my
history. Yeah.
iPad here, that I basically took it out 3 times. And the most recent time it returned automatically was October 4th. Okay.
Okay.
Borrow. I'm
Yeah.
borrowing it right now for 21
Yay.
days.
Okay.
Okay.
Godspeed. Let me know how it is. Yeah. I might write a book on pop culture. Nope. Let me rephrase it. Restorative justice in pop culture
Wow.
with Sam Heath.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. I'm scared. I
It sounds
feel
like
like
a big project, but
it's a little series called like Little Books or something like that. So 80 pages. But the
little
idea is
books.
maybe make a living document of other things. So have a
Hmm.
couple examples that we have, and then yeah, have a website that keeps kind of updating, refreshing. But I'm nervous about it. Um, I trust him. I don't trust myself. But I've got a couple good
That's,
examples. Fruits
I don't
Basket
know,
is one, and Last of Us Part Two is the other one. So we'll
two
see.
things that you love.
Yes, and that have good examples of restorative justice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, I can say that, and you may be able to too, but sometimes when you make things you love into a
mm,
work project,
yeah,
there can definitely be moments where you may regret doing that. But then
yeah,
others where it's super fun to make an even deeper dive into the
yeah,
thing that you love.
yeah, absolutely. And getting to know, I think, restorative justice and better understand that too. as a practice as well as a philosophy. I think
Yeah.
that'd be really great because we certainly need that. I think in the school
Oh,
setting as well as
absolutely.
in our everyday lives. So
Hmm.
so yeah. So maybe I'll be a published author. Who knows? Knock on wood.
Yeah, you might run across some things from my partner on restorative justice
Oh,
as well.
okay. Well, send any questions or comments back roll the oracle at gmail.com. Do you want anyone to email you?
Oh, if anyone wants to, they're welcome to. My email is my last name and first initial, so Coca C at oldwestbury.edu.
And sign up for her classes in the fall. Like this show on Facebook or follow it on Twitter at Back Row the Oracle. Subscribe to the show on YouTube for an uncut version. Follow the Batman Universe on Facebook and Twitter as well. And support the Batman Universe by subscribing to Patreon. Once again, thanks to Mile High Comics for sponsoring Back Row the Oracle, the Barbara Gordon podcast. We are 30 minutes times 4 times 5. But until next time.
Oh, fly on,
Oh
Babs
my
lovers.
gosh. Why you
Fly
do
on,
that?
Babs lovers.
Okay, thank you so much.